he's the best out of the bunch, and the bunch isn't very good. So the pool of talent is
So he's the
bad.
least minging grape in the bunch.
Yeah, but that's going across the benches as well. That's not just in the Tory party. I think it is. I think you don't like the guy about the sounds of it.
I liked him to start with. Well, I don't know if I liked him, but I certainly thought, oh, thank goodness. I breathed a big sigh of relief when he got in and did the professionally accountability and integrity speech, because I thought, oh, he really must have hated what's gone on with Boris Johnson, but you're better inside the tent than outside it. So he, a bit like Keir Starmer when Jeremy Corbyn was Labour leader, he thought, I'm gonna stay close to power, but I don't agree with that, because. So what do you think he was doing?
No, I think in order for him, I think there's two things. He's no angel, but he's the best out of the bunch that's there. Now, in terms of
what's he good at?
Well, in terms of having a successful and a stable government, he has to keep all the.
What's he good at? What's he personally good at?
I think he's the best out of the bunch.
No, you can't just keep saying that. What's he good at?
Not being Keir Starmer, not being Boris Johnson, not being Liz Truss, not being David Cameron.
Why bring Keir Starmer into it?
Because he's potentially the next Prime Minister.
Yeah, but why would not being Keir Starmer be an attribute for Rishi Sunak?
Well, the fact that Keir Starmer was complete chums with Jeremy Corbyn.
Well, Rishi Sunak was complete chums with Boris Johnson.
But you didn't have a massive anti-Semitic issue in the Conservative Party.
But he's on the record. He's on the record as being Islamophobic.
Who, Rishi Sunak?
No, Boris Johnson. Chet, keep up.
No, I am keeping up. It just obviously when you didn't mention him by name, did you? So obviously I wasn't aware of who you're talking about at that point.
Well, I can't be responsible for your failure to keep up. I've got enough going on in the studio. So Keir Starmer was complicit in Jeremy Corbyn's anti-Semitism. Therefore, yes. Rishi Sunak was complicit in Boris Johnson's Islamophobia. It's just sounding a bit desperate, really. But I take it. I mean,
No, I don't. It's not desperate.
Well, I can only tell you. No, I said you're sounding a bit. You're sounding a bit desperate, which is what I can hear. Tom Watson gets demonised by the right-wing media because he came closer to bringing down Rupert Murdoch than anybody else in the last 70 years, mate. I think you need to get on Google.
When Tom Watson sits and demonstrates in London and then turns around to a bunch of people who are vandalising the Indian High Commission and turns around and says, you supported us, now it's our time to support you, and then gets voted to the House of Lords, and kind of alienates me. Yeah,
and this is you answering the question of what Rishi Sunak's good at.
Yeah, but as I started off, he's the best out of the bunch that we've got.
Okay. That's not an attribute. It's something that he's good at. I
think he launched the furlough scheme. He saved loads of jobs. Now, it's not his fault.
What were the alternatives?
The alternatives were not helping businesses and putting everybody on social.
Well, he did do that. That's what the furlough was.
No, but he kept jobs going, didn't he?
But that's what the furlough was. It paid people for not working. If that's not a definition of putting people on the social, then what is?
No, well, I think somebody else would have turned around and said, well, we can't help businesses.
Well, then the whole country would have gone bankrupt. Would have been completely broken.
If the employers have to let you go, then you'll have to rely on the state and would have to help you in terms of benefits.
So he brought in a socialist. He brought in a socialist policy then.
He did, yes, he did.
So Rishi Sunak is good at socialism, but you like him because he's not Keir Starmer. That's absolutely vintage call, Chet, mate. Have a great weekend.